when I should have left myself. But I couldn't have. Oh no, I couldn't have. I always open my gut when I shouldn't have. Oh no, I shouldn't have.
Hi, Rackard.
Hello there.
Hello there. Firefighter Sam, innit?
Here we go.
Fireman Sam. Mate, that was a class cartoon, man.
I know.
One of my favourites. Just like, was it Clifford the Big Red Dog? Or Dennis the Menace?
Oh, yeah. Not sure.
I saw a couple of Beano comics in like an op shop the other week. It was like 50 cents. I was like, oh, I'm so tempted to just stock up on these bad boys. Not like I'm going to read them or anything, but
Just to
it's
have
just a bit of nostalgia.
childhood memorabilia. I liked its one dagger tooth.
Mate, you're going to have to talk to me. I think you're going on a bit of a walkabout and
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
going on a little trip.
we had a wee bit of a lowdown of how life is progressing. It's progressed in fantastic ways for both of us, which is a good thing. Sometimes you're going to have a little bit of solitude, right? But you're going on a wee trip. And where are you going?
Trip, yeah. So I'm going to Ukraine in December. So I've been trying to get to Ukraine for about 3 years.
Wow.
I did a fundraiser maybe 2022 and raised just like a few £100 and gave it to this guy, Steve, who took it into Carpathia to an orphanage there, and they built a swimming pool so all the kids in the orphanage could like play out in the swimming pool. So I've had like an eye on things for quite a while, and I kept on saying to him, like, we take me into Ukraine. He's like, no. Like we were both busy doing other things. I was doing the adaptive CrossFit coaching, and we were just both busy. And then I got back in touch with him and actually started dating him. So I've managed to now get into Ukraine. You know, the length you've got to go to sometimes, Alex, to get. No, I'm joking. So
That's one way of doing it, love.
And I've been asking me to go out with him for quite a while. I was like, oh, for God's sake, only Ukraine.
Only if the second date is in Kiev. You're like, hold on a minute. Like, I know that name. Where is that? I heard there's a restaurant that I want to go to. I want to try the spag bowl. Motherfucker. Is that still cracking on or what?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
This smile goes from ear to ear.
Don't tell him that. I act cold in front of him. Like, yeah.
You know, you can access this. You know, you can hear, you can listen.
You've no room to talk either with your ear to ear grin. Your side.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's already been like a few times there. They made a film for ITV called Children of Ukraine, and which was like a documentary about different children's stories, like followed their life for a few weeks, whatever. So he's then been back out there, like to the orphanages and stuff to drop off Christmas presents. So I've been sort of watching that all going on over the last few years. And like been in touch about that. So I was like, yeah, let's do it then. So we're going to take fire kit in as well, which I'm well excited about. So there's a charity called Operation Florian, which gathers fire kit, spare fire kit or like old fire kit. So they've agreed to donate some sets of like bunkers and tunics and some medical kit. So we'll be taking that, hand delivering it to the firefighters there. So I'm so excited about that. It's going to be mint. And then Steve's got to go to the different orphanages, and he wants to try and find some of the children from the documentary. One of the kids, Andre, they've stayed in touch like with his mum and everything, and Andre's like really special to him. And when I saw the film Children of Ukraine, I was like, who is this kid? Andre. He was like, yeah. So I'm going to meet Andre, hopefully, God willing. That'll be cool. So yes, we're starting off in Poland, driving south to the Carpathian Mountains, to the orphanage where the swimming pool is. So that'll be cool. Like 3 years ago, I've sort of known about that and seen like footage from when they went in there. So I'm going to finally get to go in there. Then we're going to go and try and find Andre and go through to Kherson, Donbass, Kharkiv, and then back up and round and out. So there's orphanages underground and like schools and the subways and stuff, and like kids' hospitals and that. So we're going to go in there and drop off Christmas presents. So yeah, I'm well excited.
I'm really intrigued with people's motivation to do things, right? And I don't want to speak on Steve's behalf or ask questions about him, so I'd love to have a conversation with him individually. But my question is like, why feel so compelled? Because I remember you bringing up Ukraine and doing a first charity event with a couple of quid to going to the pool, and we had conversations about that a few years ago. So I guess as a bit of a broad question for everybody else is like, why Ukraine? What pulls you towards that country? What pulls you towards the cause, or like what medium, and why?
So it's sort of part of who I am, really, to want to go and help people that are struggling, people that are in need. It's not something new for me. Like in 2020, 13, 14, I was working in refugee camps in like France, Greece. It's like, to me, it's about the children more than anything else, because I know people have different political views. People have got, prejudice, or they've got ideas, or they think that one group of people deserve certain things over another group of people. And until you've been there yourself, you don't know. So I'm the kind of person where I'll hear all this noise and think to myself, well, I'll go and have a look. So I just got a van. And my mate Grant, I was like, we're going to France, we're going to go and have a look at this thing what's on the news. He was like, all right then. He's like 60 odd at this point. So we just drove down and went and had a look, and there were children living on pallets, and beneath the pallet was just mud and shit, and like there was traffickers, and there was children being sold into like prostitution, and there was no education there, they had no food, and like you'll see it on the news, or stop the migrants and everything. Then there's like a 4-year-old kid wandering around, freezing, wet, no coat. So it's like, once you've seen something like that, you just start to regard people with a bit more of a humanitarian set of eyes, to be honest. Because in England, I can only speak from, I've only ever lived in England, but living in England, we're very, very privileged, and not many people are aware of what's going on in the rest of the world. And even if you try to tell them, like, they just don't, you can't understand it unless you've experienced it for yourself. So why Ukraine? Well, I mean, once Russia gets through Ukraine, they're coming for us, for one thing. So, we can sit here and wait for it, or, I'd rather go and have a quick look myself, see what's going on. And I feel like it's very important that you want to get a certain amount of time, don't you? People think money's the currency, but time's the currency. And when I'm like 80 years old, if I ever get to that age, I want to look back on my life and be able to say, do you know what? I've done something. I've done something important. I've tried to do something important. Remember that time we went to Ukraine? Like, who wants to just sit behind a desk all the line? Not me. Remember day 5, Steve, when we went to Ukraine?
Fuck me there, mate. I missed you.
I know, it's been too long.
So I got a van and drove to a refugee camp to have a look myself. That's got to be the most northern thing I've ever heard. Come on, in you get. Family trip. Well, here's a question that I want to ask you, because I've been thinking about how to structure and word this question. I don't think I've arrived at a perfect spot yet. And it's mainly all these questions that I ask people, the general, I guess, philosophical ones, is just the ones that I ask myself and try and strip down my own thinking.
Yeah.
I want to give it to yourself because you're a fascinating character. In more ways than one, may I add. But we're gonna stay on the left side of that line. Is if you were to strip down all the descriptors, mother, firefighter, female, whatever, just strip it all down, right? How would you describe yourself?
Good question. Basically, what I want to do is just grab hold of life and just keep on elevating myself, making progress, learning new things, experiencing new things, suffering. I am not afraid to suffer. Like, I love it. I see it like an opportunity for growth. And I feel like when we come to this planet, we come here to learn and develop ourselves. And I think some people can go through their life and never realise that that's what they're here for, and they'll sort of take things at face value, or lost that job, all right. So they don't think any deeper than, well, why, what happened, or that relationship's struggling. Well, why is it struggling? What are you learning from it? I've recently been looking into a bit of stoicism. I had this coach, Tom Blackledge. He's one of the first MMA fighters in the UK. And I was going to his jiu-jitsu club, but I was only really going there so that I could get to meet him and sort of talk to him about this kind of thing, because I'm really interested in it. And I started having one-to-ones with him and we were talking a lot about sort of manifestation, and about, like a tapestry, and you'll pick out certain things that are relevant to yourself because you need to learn something about them.
Correct.
And once I realised that that's the process of how the universe works, it's just bringing things to you for your attention. Sort of stopped seeing things in a sort of closed-minded type of way, and started to be more open to exploring different perspectives on why things happen over your life. 5 years ago, whatever, went through a really difficult time. I obviously lost the baby later on, and it's like, why is this happening to me? Like, what does it all mean? Like, there was just seemed like, what's the point of all this? And then from that experience, I've learned so much. I've been able to achieve so many things. I've been able to help so many people by broadening my own mindset, really, and learning how to suffer and suffer well. I love that saying, learn to suffer and suffer well. I think, yes, it's like the assault bike, innit? You get on it, you start struggling, you think to yourself, oh my God, I wish this would end. And then I think to myself, no, go deeper in. And then when you start going deeper in, you start getting elated, don't you? Thinking, yeah, look at me go. So I try and that is who I am. Suffer and suffer well. That's at the core of me. I love it.
I think suffering creates meaning out of the madness.
Yeah.
It also, I think it presents you with the things in life that means the most to you.
Yeah.
And we can either, study or become a bit of a lecturer or whatever, and a student, and you end up suffering intellectually. You're going through that
Yeah.
kind of that hardship, that cognitive stress. You can go out and you can run whatever, like Gargan's
Yeah.
200 miles or whatever, through the mountains. Like
Mhm.
that's a perfect example of suffering, right? But I also
Yeah.
think just everyday life is a perfect example of suffering.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to be. I think we have a huge negative connotation on that word, right? Because we
Mm.
think, oh, I should be taking a knife to my wrist. And I was like, well, hold on a minute. No, that's just playing violence to yourself.
Mm.
Like, suffering is going into the uncomfortable, and the
Yeah.
uncomfortable is away from homeostasis. And homeostasis is where we just sit in the comfort zone. It's a fluctuation around a set point. Set point, by definition, is it's not fucking moving.
Yeah.
So stepping away from that means we're going to suffer a little bit, and that's okay. Like, I think
Mhm.
we trip ourselves up quite regularly when we try and overcomplicate life. I don't think life is complicated. I just think it's meant to be hard.
Mm.
Just seek out those things that are supposed to be hard and
Mm.
feel hard for you, and just
Yeah.
watch the growth occur.
Yeah, because love is suffering, isn't it? You can't love somebody and not suffer through that. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to lose them at some point. One of you's going to die. There's going to be times where maybe they're not living at home, or you can't see them, or something's happening where you're feeling, I don't know, some kind of distance, or whatever it is. There's going to be a level of suffering that comes with love. Like, some of my kids, they're moving away now to university and they're growing up, and you go through like a grieving process of them growing up and leaving. Or when they're a baby, they're not a baby forever, are they? That version of them is gone forever. Like, you're going to suffer missing that version of them. And people change and grow and develop and become someone else. And there is no way to love someone and not suffer. So I kind of see them running parallel along with each other. Joining the fire service, yeah, absolutely put me out my comfort zone. Absolutely. There was so many moments where I thought to myself, I've bitten off more than I can chew. It's too hard. And I was 41 when I joined, and to be in that training centre and not know anything and not be able to do anything, and us trying my hardest and getting it wrong, and I've come onto station and still struggled. Like, it's not easy at my age to learn something completely new. And I'm not that big of a fan of heights. I'd be up that ladder, my fucking legs would be shaking, and be just like praying, please God, don't let me die. I'm only joking. No, but there were times where it was really hard, and like get to a job and feel out my depth, and everything's new, isn't it? You're in situations that no one's used to being in. You can't prepare yourself to be attending a car on fire, or someone trapped in a house. There's no way of preparing for that. You've just got to sort of suck it up and do your best. And I found that really difficult to not know, to not knowing, not because as you get older, you know quite a lot of stuff, don't you? You're in a position in your life where you're good at things that you're doing. I'm good at being a mum. I'm good at what sports I do. I'm good at running a business. I'm good at running my house. I'm a good friend. I can do things that I've been practicing all my life. So then put somebody of my age into something brand new, and it's very difficult. I found it very challenging. And I've grown so much from that, which is, it's great, isn't it?
I wrote something down, and yes, it is great. Sorry to jump off, but you sparked something like this morning as I was having my coffee, trying to wake up to talk to you. Is this? I let the mind wander, right? And I've been like obsessing over the concept of nostalgia for a while, right? I wrote something down this morning, and you've just reminded me of it. It says, perhaps we remember things better than they are to protect ourselves from the discomfort of the unknown to come. We try and keep ourselves away from it. We try and no, that's going to be uncomfortable, and you know that for a fact. It's going to be uncomfortable because it's unknown, and doing things that we don't know makes us feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you've got to put your hands in your pockets and just put your head into it and be like,
Mm.
listen, I'm gonna walk into this regardless. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna get burnt. Yeah, I'm gonna get fucking hurt. Yeah, this, that, and the other. But you're gonna be all right. Like, you're an adult, for Christ's sake. You're a savage. Like, you can get through these things,
Mm.
and they will teach you inevitably. They will teach you things along the way, and you will be different because of it. You know, we also got a bit of an aversion for change, right? We don't want to change.
Mm.
Same old. But it's like, well, everyone that I ever speak to is like a migrant. You ask them about home, and they're like, oh, I just went home. I was like, how was it? And they go, nothing changes. And you go, okay, well, what was that experience like? And they say, god awful.
Oh.
It's like purgatory. Nothing changes. It's the same day every day. And you're like, yeah, like, that's not good. That's not living. That's being alive. It's not living.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we got that change, right? Like,
Yes.
embrace
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
think that's why I like doing endurance sports, because you're just creating a situation for yourself to suffer in, aren't you, really? So one of the fundraisers that I'm doing before we go to Ukraine is the Penny Fan, the SAS selection route. I'm gonna wear fire kit and breathing apparatus. So that's gonna be really fun. I'm so excited for it. I'm training so hard for it, and just feeling like really grateful for being able to train. You know, I had my back issues earlier at the start of the decade, and yeah, I'm feeling much better. So I've been sort of training for that. My son's actually having an operation on Monday. He's got to have both his legs broken, and then they're taking a piece of bone out of one, you know, out of the long bones on the side, and putting them into the shorter bones to help with his dwarfism, because his legs are bowed. So it's going to help straighten his legs up. So I'm prepared, ready. I've got a dumbbell. I've got a rucksack. I'm going to find myself a flight of stairs. I'm just going to be up and down those stairs while I'm in the hospital, practicing for the fun.
what a fucking savage. Honestly, mate.
I'm glad you appreciate this. The lads at work are like, fucking mental, you. What you doing now? Filming
That's the
yourself for
point.
Instagram again. I'm like, yeah, I am.
You're
Fuck
doing
off.
it. You're doing it. So, what's the questions for? You know, I told you this before it was going to happen, and you're surprised. What, you think I'm lying to you? Oh, you fuck off. But I think you're a perfect example of somebody who has gone through many different chapters in their own life and has changed drastically. I say that in a good sense. You know, you can kind of look back and you can signpost different chapters, I guess, if you will. Let's use that analogy. And you'd be like, okay, who was that Amanda? Oh, Amanda was in this situation. She thought these things. She saw the world in this way. She was surrounded by these people. And you could do that every chapter, every year, every thing that happened, every decade, however you want it. This is your book. But like, I think you're a perfect example of someone that actually said, you know what, I'm going to break my own chains. I'm going to set myself free, because you're free to change. And if you don't, then you're choosing not to. You as in the plural, you as everyone, including myself.
Yeah.
You know, everything is a choice. And someone like yourself, mate, like, you've stood up, you know, wiped the dust from your face and said, you know what, fuck this. Like, I don't want my life to look like this for the rest of time, and I'm going to change it. And you've done that repeatedly. I got so much for something like that. I got so much respect. You're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do something different.
Time's short, isn't it? Time is short. You think you've got forever. You really have not got long. Like, get up off your ass now and do something. It's so funny. Like, I was out with my friend this morning. She's going through a bit of a rough time, and I went round to actually change the smoke alarm because it was bleeping. And I was like, "Come on, let's go." I'll put my rucksack on and we'll go up Darwin Tower. And so I went out with them, having just such a similar conversation to this. And she was like, you know, you don't seem to struggle with things. Like, it's Isaac's operation on Monday, and you seem fine. And, you know, I've got a few other bits of things going on. And I was genuinely like, I am fine. I feel completely fine. I was like, he's not having his operation right now, is he? I'm out here with you. Like, it's not happening now. So there's no point worrying about it. And she's like, how have you stopped worrying? And I said, well, I realised that I was choosing to worry. And then I had to think to myself, well, if I'm choosing to worry, why am I choosing that? Why do I want to worry? Why do I want to have these different problems in my life sort of dominating my thoughts? And why am I focusing on the problems? There's always going to be problems for everybody.
Correct,
Whatever your life is, however much money you've got in abundance, or you're living your best life doing whatever, you're always going to face challenges. So you can sort of, that tapestry, isn't it? You can like focus in on the difficulty and have a victim mindset and think, oh, my life's terrible. Or you can just sort of compartmentalize that and think, right, brilliant, what am I doing right now? Oh, I'm with my friend. We're outside, buzzing.
What was it raining?
No, it was beautiful.
Fuck's sake. Tell me about the rain, tell me about the mud, tell me about the gloomy days. I miss it. You know what I mean?
They'll be coming soon enough. It's been pissing down for weeks on end. So
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
get up at 6. It's dark. It's raining. It's cold.
Stunning.
Yeah, sunny there, isn't it?
Yeah, it almost takes the piss.
Yeah, barbecues and that. Barbecues and beers after work.
Yeah, it's too much sometimes. I tell you what, like sometimes I just want an overcast day, it to be pretty nippy. You know, like just give me a minute to just kind of collect my thoughts. But everybody wants to be half naked on beach all the time, and you're like, for fuck's sake, just yeah, do me a favor and get fucked for a minute.
Turn the light off, get in the shower, put it on cold.
Yeah.
It's me in this victim mindset, Alex.
Yeah.
It's the solution to every problem.
Start playing the Smiths or something. You know, bring the frequencies down. No,
Lower that energy. Complain about a few things.
yeah.
I like your bathroom button.
I stubbed me toe. It's your fault. Fuck off, princess. Mate, I wanna jump back to Ukraine. Right. Obviously, this is a larger issue at hand, and you know, life's a game. Unfortunately, we're kind of thrust into this life, into this game, right? And I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm the right person to talk about politics. I'm fucking blonde and from the north of England, for fuck's sake. Like somebody else's job. But I'm a huge advocate of we are accountability for our own actions, right? And we can have intention of what we want to try and achieve. So ignoring the bigger game and the bigger picture and all that fucking nonsense, because there's upheaval everywhere in the world and it hurts my heart. But if we take all of that hurt onto ourselves, it will crush us. Right? So it's like, okay, knowing those two sides and being able to create a pretty compelling argument for either side, let's just put a pin in it and put it on the corkboard for a minute. Your part to play.
Yes.
What you are going to do
Mhm.
at the end of the year, what are you hoping to achieve from your hands?
So I am hoping to just go there and spend time with people and bring them a bit of joy, a bit of energy. Have you ever heard that starfish story? Where the guy's on the
Yeah.
beach and
Beautiful,
all
but
the
you can-
all the
you can tell
little
me.
sea creatures are coming, aren't they? They're all dying on the sand. Oh, you're dying. Sorry, tough shit. The little kid gets a starfish. Fucking saves that boy. Chucks it back in. The dad's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "But Dad, I've saved that one." I was like, "What about all the rest?" He was like, "Well, I can only save that one." You know, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Am
Yeah.
I going to Ukraine and I'm gonna help 10,000 people and fucking raise 50 grand? No, I'm taking 8 sets of fire kit in and a stretcher and a few other more bits and bobs, and then I'm gonna go and take some Christmas presents to a few kids. It's like, it's not gonna change the world, but it's gonna change the world for maybe 20 people. That's my little bit. And if everybody did one little bit, the world would be a completely different place to live in, wouldn't it? And I think it's really important to sort of, I don't know how much doing one thing tips the balance, but I always think of it like if you throw a stone into a lake, the ripple effect from that can be huge, can't it? So I'm just going to go and chuck one stone in. How many people are going to listen to this podcast? How many people are going to see my social media? How many people are going to share it? How many people are going to hear about what I'm doing? And maybe they'll think, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. And they'll do one thing.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Maybe they don't even do it for Ukraine, but maybe they treat their neighbour a little better.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
something so small as that actually creates a huge ripple effect.
Yeah.
Huge, mate, huge. And what I say is, how many raindrops does it take to make a ripple? Because everyone gets bogged down with like the hugeness, right? You know, we now have billionaires. They're talking about trillionaires. They're talking about all this like massive shit, that moving to Mars and stuff, things that we can't even comprehend, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, then I can't do anything. Then my actions mean nothing. It's like, no, you're comparing apples to oranges here. Like, you can do something.
Yeah.
You know, you
And
could say,
I've got my children at home looking to me.
Yeah.
And I want them to think, Jesus, like, look what mum can do. Well, do you know what my mum can do? That means more than anything, doesn't it? You know, I've heard them saying to the mates, my mum's a firefighter, and I think, yes, like, fucking winning at life, aren't I? Like, made my kids proud of me. What else do you need? I don't need loads of money. I've achieved the most important thing just by having my kids to be proud of me and for them to think, yeah, I can do it. My kids will say to me all the time, oh, don't tell mum if you've got a problem. All she'll say is victim. But they'll joke about it, but they've learned, like, I need to think outside the box. I need to be capable. I need to survive, because life is tough, isn't it? You know, I think people in general over the last sort of 10 years or maybe longer have become very cold towards their neighbour, and it's damaging the world. Like, people have become sort of kind of cruel, and there's no sense of community. You know, there's a lot of negativity going on. So it's so important, like more important than people probably realise, to just try and do something good. It can be anything, little thing, one little thing, put your next door neighbour's bin out if they forget. There's so many little tiny things that you can do that just might tip that balance.
Don't you remember borrowing each other's sugar?
Yeah, exactly. What happened to that?
Yeah, I made a brew and I got no milk. So you go to your neighbour's house and you knock on, can I borrow some milk? And they're like, yeah. I go in the fridge. You know, now I find the craziest thing, and the thing that highlights it to me so much, you know, when you walk down the street and you're on the pavement, if you're walking at somebody, right, you take a step left or right, and they take a step in the other direction. You both kind of weave out each other's way. Obviously, just like if there's a lamppost there, you're going to get out its way. So everybody's got enough space. People walk straight. They walk straight at you. I was like, what do you mean? Do you expect me to bend over? Or do you expect me to walk straight? Are we doing some sort of gladiator shit? Because if I walk straight, you're going on your ass. And then I'm in the wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, and I'm like, okay, well, what? There's two types of thing that I can see from my perspective there that's going on. I was like, one, you're completely oblivious to anybody else in the world. And I think that's a dangerous place. Your world evolves around one person. And there's nobody else alive. That's wild to me. And second of all, you're so much better than everybody else that they need to bend and bow to get out of your way. They think you're the fucking queen. Like, again, I think that's a dangerous spot. I was like, we just give no shits about anybody else. And don't get me wrong, don't care about anyone else's opinion. Yeah, I think there's some great merit in that. Like, live the life that you want to live. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But also care for thy fucking neighbor. And I'm not saying you have to be like a biblical bloody genius here. like, oh, you have to take these scriptures and run them with your life. I was like, no, let's just like have some common decency.
Yeah, just be a
So,
decent person. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Just let a car out next time you drive. Just say
yeah.
hello to the barista. How's your day? You go, oh fuck. You know, you look a little down. What's up? Something so minute like that, like actually makes a world of difference.
Yeah. You really don't know what people are going through either, do you?
Not a clue. Not a single clue.
And I think sometimes as well, I don't know if it's to do with social media or like people will know what someone's going through and they'll just sort of like stick a knife in sometimes or
Yeah.
just show no compassion whatsoever or they don't feel any sort of kindness towards people. And I can be like that sometimes if I've, stressed out or I'm rushing around and I'm busy and I just become like cold and I stop myself and I think, why are you acting like such a massive cunt? Like, stop. It's not the way of the world. It sort of invites you into that mindset and that's not who I want to be at all. So it's sort of redressing my own balance, my internal balance as well to think, I'm happiest when I'm like this, when I've got some sort of fitness challenge fundraiser on the go and I'm doing something for someone else. I feel happy and I feel fulfilled and all the little bits of noise around me don't seem to matter so much. So, it's always going to be a mixed motive, isn't it, when you're helping somebody else because you're helping yourself at the same time. I'm going to achieve something. I'm going to feel good about myself doing this. And then I'm going to be helping other people as well. It's like a two-way relationship there. And I try and keep an eye on that as well because the last thing I would ever want to do is, to gain from it. And I used to feel like ashamed if I'd go and help somebody and then I'd think, oh, that was sick. I had such a good time. And then I'd think, oh, you're a bad person. Like you was meant to be helping them and now you feel good about it. It's like, then I realised that everyone's going to always have a mixed motive around that sort of thing, but it's good to have an eye on it.
Yeah, you feel a little Machiavellian, right? Like a sheep wearing a belt, like you're almost like a fucking fraud.
Yeah, you just got to be careful because people are saying to you, "Oh, wow, it's amazing what you're doing," and you don't want the ego to get out of control, do you? I want to stay humble within all of this. And acknowledging that all of that stuff is important. It's very important. You come across people in the humanitarian sector and they think they're like Jesus and I've helped this many people and I've raised this amount of money and it's all about them. Well, who are you meant to be helping? Yourself, right? We're coming from a really, really privileged country. I've got a nice house, I've got a nice job, my kids are safe. There's the NHS, like sometimes rocky, but there is the NHS. We're living in such an entitled position to then go and help someone and make it about yourself. It's just gross, isn't it? So, but there is always going to be that. That's always going to be a factor in it that you've got to sort of keep an eye on and sort of keep a lid on and remember what you're doing and why you're doing it. 'Cause it's what everyone's saying to you, oh, well done, and oh, look what you're doing. It's like, it's not about me.
Yeah, something I'm a little confused about, I guess, with the old new way of being social. It's a bit of a hybrid, right? Half on the internet and half in real life. Is like people like to keep up to date with what you're doing with your life, but will never actually talk to you.
Yeah.
Never spend any time with you, right? And I'm like, that to me makes zero sense. It must be because I've been hit in the head too many times, or I'm just refusing to, I guess, evolve into a bit of a cyborg. But I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why would I want to know what's going on in somebody's life if I'm not going to go give 30 minutes of my time to get a coffee with them? If they're not that important, if we're not that close, to spend some time together and for me to genuinely give a shit and for them to genuinely give a shit, like truly, like family or an extended family, then like why would I care about what's going on in their life? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like go live your life the way you want to live it, right? And like I don't give a fuck. Like I'm busy. My brain's busy. I can't hold any of that information. And it seems like we like to keep up with the Joneses, but also have a finger in everybody's bloody pie. And it's like, okay, well, I address it of like, all right, first of all, that's a bit of a narcissistic way of thinking. a little bit of a sociopathic way of thinking too, because you like to have control of other people in a way, even if it is just information. But I'm like, another question is like, I look at it like, what are you achieving?
Mm.
What are we doing here? Are we actually like doing anything? Or are we just kind of like, oh yeah, but yeah, this, that, yeah, okay, I stopped talking. You're like, you've just filled space with junk.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I think it's really important, and why, you know, I said I went away for a little over a year, is like I think it's really important for people to spend time by themselves, because they end up figuring out what's really important to them.
Yeah.
And then they say, yeah, okay, this bullshit, the noise, and there's always going to be noise, but the noise doesn't affect me. It's water off a duck's back.
Mm.
And then potentially you might come up with an idea of taking some fire kit to Ukraine, or caring about thy neighbor, or writing a book, or doing something that actually fills you up in a way that you feel so much better about yourself. So then you can give a little bit more. Because I really do think life is about bloody giving, man.
Yeah.
It's not about taking. I think it's about giving. And we live in a time, maybe we fabricated a society, maybe it's a byproduct, maybe it's the powers that be with the old conspiracies that they've purposely done it. I don't fucking know. But we're here, right? It doesn't really matter how we got here, but we're here. People just want to take. And if anything happens in a negative light, it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
And you're like, where the fuck did you get that idea? You're an adult, man.
Yeah. I think people are hurting, aren't they? There's a lot of people in pain, and I think that all those things that we've talked about, people's different behaviours, are rooted in pain and lack of fulfilment, and sort of we've created this society where everyone's got everything and all they can do is get more, and there's no fulfilment in that. There's no suffering in it. The sort of all their every need is met. You can look however you want. You can do whatever you want. There's no sort of restraints or constraints on your lifestyle, really. When you compare to having no food, no clean water, having to do a lot of walking to sort of get anywhere, and it's unsurprising to me that people are suffering in a really negative, self-destructive way, and all they've got left to do is sort of fight against each other.
Yeah.
And that's difficult to be around, isn't it? And it's very sad to be around. And when you see people behaving like that, I just think, oh, you're proper struggling, aren't you?
Yeah, and here's the thing: I have so much hope for people, so much hope for people, that I do not think it's intentional. I don't think people are trying to like just dismantle other people's lives or like fuck themselves up like on purpose. I think like we like to throw around like that's a narcissist or that's a psychopath and stuff. But actually, a very few slim proportion of the population that are like clinically in that position.
Yeah.
I think we're just a little lost. Or we've took the path of least resistance too often, that we've arrived at a position and a destination where we don't know how to act, and we don't know who we are, and we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's also okay. You know, it's like shit, okay, put your hands up, say, I fucked up somewhere. I made the decisions to go left instead of right. No problem. I need to face who I have become. And then let's go figure out what destination, or at least what direction I want to go in, and let's start walking there and be humble enough to be wrong again. Like that's absolutely fine. You know, it just seems like whatever decision I make, I am right, because I am entitled to everything that I could ever desire, and everybody else is the problem. And you're like, how the fuck is that a good way of thinking? That's why I was like, you know what? I'm going into the woods. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. This is crazy. Yeah, it's way overwhelming. It's way too overwhelming for me.
Yeah, a lot of people are feeling like that. Stop the bus, I want to get off, and they can see the way the world's going and the way people are behaving, and they're just, you know, anyone who's, you know, got a shred of sort of decency and a bit of heart about them, they're finding it difficult to live in the world that's been created, or that we've created, or whatever's going on today. It's very, very difficult, isn't it? You know, and thinking about Ukraine, and you know, I've not been there. I'm only going off what I've heard. I should imagine from what I've experienced in in my life so far that through the joint suffering, they're forging like really strong bonds. You know, and I know Steve's very excited to go out there and sort of meet up with people that he's met while he's been out there, or people who live there, because that bond that you make in the shared suffering is so strong. Like we are missing out on that.
Yeah.
So you could say that we're the ones struggling in a certain light, because we are lost and we're not being natural, are we? It's not natural for us to have everything. Humans were made to be resilient and to be disciplined, and if you weren't, you wouldn't eat. But that's gone. So what we're doing now, no one knows. We're just sort of drifting around, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually had a bit of a, I don't want to say epiphany, but I thought I was walking through the supermarket yesterday, right? And I saw this like box of Cheetos. A bit like What's-Its, but in circles, right? Right. And I looked at them, I was like, fucking hell, they're banging them. They're next level them. Right. And then instantly I had a thought, I was like, yeah, but Alex, if you have one of them, you can't stop. Like well, personally, because I'm fucking crazy, but also like I cannot stop until the whole thing's gone. And then when the whole thing's gone, I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
And then from that thought, so two thoughts away from the first one was like, so where have we landed? Like where I have to basically use and abuse things that I like as so far, and I feel like absolute garbage, or I destroy something just because, like, one, I can't control my own desires, or two, like we've created something where you can just keep going. It's fine. Have as much as you want. And you're like, well, like, look back at every other civilization that ended up in that position. They ended up falling. It ended up being dismantled. It fell apart because they couldn't keep their own desires in check.
Yeah.
And their own ego ended up fucking swallowing themselves.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, well, on an individualistic basis, we have to give that a bit of light of day. Like, look, listen, politics will do its thing. The world will do its fucking thing. Like these tech geniuses will do their thing. Yeah, great. And I got so much hope and love for people. Like, I think we're going to do some incredible things. I really do. And I think there's going to be more incredible things than there's going to be negative things, you know? But like, we have no control over that. So let's just talk about oneself.
Yeah.
How about you don't fucking smash 5 bags of Doritos? You know, how about like you care a little bit more about yourself, so then you can give a little bit more to somebody else. I mean, we keep our own ego in check because we live out of it.
Constant battle, isn't it? Constant battle to, you know, we've all just had our tea and then sat down, the lads are watching a movie or whatever, and I had brought a tin of Heroes and a tin of Quality Street, and I fucking sat there and I'm like eating them, going, oh, I shouldn't be eating these, and like unable to stop myself. It's like a constant battle for discipline, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you can't have one.
And I am a disciplined person, so imagine what it's like if you're not disciplined. This is how people end up like so overweight and so depressed and so anxious, like, because it's not just eating, is it? And you know, there's all sorts of different things. You know, there's like sex and money and gambling and drinking and fucking not turning up for work on time, and you know, not polishing your boots, not ironing your kit, you know, there's so many little things all day, different avenues to go down. Are you going to be disciplined, or are you going to take the easy route all day long? It's fucking tiring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. Life's not complicated, it's just hard. But people are not hard, they're just complicated. And that's life.
Yeah, that's why I like running. I like training, because you've got to be disciplined, haven't you?
I fucking hate running.
Well, you should do it then. Do something you hate doing.
No, I fucking despise running. Like, I fucking hate it. I'll tell you what, like I was maybe about 11 years ago, like my old man was going through a bit of a rough stage, and I said, you know what, like I don't know how to help the fella, but I'm going to run a marathon for him.
Yeah.
I didn't raise any money or anything. I just got a little shirt made that said on the front it said, "It's okay, Dad," and on the back it said, "I got you back."
Oh my God, I love that.
I started at I think it was City Stadium or United Stadium, something in Manchester. And I FaceTimed him and I said, Dad, I know you're going through a bit of a rough time, and to be honest with you, I don't really know how to help you, mate. But and then I just kind of like pulled the camera and it said, "It's okay, Dad." And then I got someone, I turned around and it was, "I got you back." And I said, "I'm just going to go run 26.2 miles for you. I'll ring you in a few hours." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I go, "Oh, I'm just outside the stadium. I'm doing a Manchester Marathon, but I'm going to do it for you. See you in a bit." And I did one practice run about 6 months before with a neighbour of mine who loved running at the time. We ran 18 miles, and we took no water, no food, no nothing.
Brilliant.
Fucking scorching hot day, and we had to stop off at a GP surgery to get some water because we were gonna fucking pass out. Right. And then I just rocked up on day in April and was like, right, let's give this the old nudge. Let's give it the beans.
That's so
Miserable
funny.
experience. Like, fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy running one bit. But, like, the point is, you got to pick something and just give it a nudge. Even if your bloody prep has not been perfect and you didn't sleep right the night before and you didn't do your meditation in the morning. I know, but and my fucking heart rate's not in the right zone. Oh my God. I've not jerked off twice this week. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Just get out there and do something. You know, fucking, oh, coach, my fucking heart rate's between this. I don't give a fuck what your heart rate's saying, mate. You're not working hard enough because we're talking right now. We're talking. Fuck off. You know, get going. But mate, yeah, I agree. Just fucking put yourself into those suffering positions and
Yeah.
something your damn self.
See what you're made of, yeah.
See what you're made of. Mate, I think we're going to have a conversation when you get back.
Yes, definitely. I'll get Steve on it as well.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Love to.
He'll be up for it, so.
Mate, I appreciate your time. Go get some downtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go and save some lives.
Oh. Stop it.
You're kidding. I'm going to bed.
Just so you know, guys, I'm kind of important.
So when I meet people now, I'm like, which do I tell them first? Do I tell them I do CrossFit or do I tell them I'm a firefighter?
You should just say I'm basically a superhero.
No one knows I'm fit at both.
Dude, mate, great to see you, mate. It's great to see you doing well. And
I'll be in touch and I'll come on again in the new year if that's all right with you.
Of course, the door's always open. There's a seat at the table.
Great.
You have a microphone. But just be safe, yeah? Give someone a high five.
Yeah.
Teach them how to air squat or push up or something. And spread a little bit of joy like you usually do, all right?
Yeah, cheers, Al.
Much love. Look after yourself. Bye, everybody.